We don't know. We have ideas. From what we saw, he wasn't alone. He had someone with him because the second can of tear gas didn't come from his side. He was completely dressed in black, head to toe. From what we saw, it seemed like he had something over his face, probably to prevent him from breathing it in. And we can only assume that someone got him in because whatever he was wearing seemed thick. So I don't think he would really. I think he'd stand out in the crowd.
Yeah, I was sitting in the second row, probably 4 seats away from the right aisle where people usually enter from. Another guy walked in after me, sat in front of me in the front row, probably to the far right seat, and I noticed he got a phone call. Most people, when they get phone calls, they would take it out into the lobby, but this person directly went to the emergency exit. And on the phone the entire time, he was propping the door open with his foot, and it looked like he was directing somebody to come towards his direction. And I didn't think anything of it at first, but after a while, once the movie started and my friend and I got situated, about 15-20 minutes into the film, the back emergency door swung right open. I walked into the theater, probably 5'8", 5'9", wearing all black, and he was wearing a gas mask, all suited up in armor. It had a rifle around his neck, and he threw a canister into the audience behind me. And come to find out, once it exploded, it was a toxic gas. I wasn't too sure if it was tear gas, but either way, it was really hard to breathe in. Immediately, I went to the floor after it exploded, and then gunshots started taking place into the auditorium.
Corbin, let me interrupt you, and I hope you can hear me. I know it sounds like there's a lot of wind, a lot going on where you are, but you mentioned somebody sitting in the far right seat in the theater. The person on the phone goes to take the call at the exit door. Did they have the same build as the gunman? What are you saying? Do you think these are two different people or the same person?
Somebody shakes when the wind blows. Somebody's missing a friend. Hold on. Somebody's lacking a hero, and they have not a clue when it's all gonna end. Stories buried and untold. Someone is hiding the truth. Hold on, when will this mystery unfold? And will the sun ever shine in the blind man's eyes when he cries?
And an obviously drugged out James Holmes, who couldn't even speak his own name at his first court appearance. As we first suggested in our breaking video the day of the shooting, James Holmes has been exhibiting classic signs of an MK Ultra subject who has been psychologically compromised in order to stage a politically motivated mass murder.
The duty judge has made a preliminary determination of probable cause to believe you committed the offense of first-degree murder, which is a Class 1 felony under Colorado law. Ordinarily, individuals are entitled to bail. Given the nature of the charges, you are currently being held on a no bond hold. You also have a right to shall refrain from contacting, directly or indirectly communicating with the victims, shall not possess or control firearm or other weapon, shall not possess or consume alcoholic beverages or controlled substances, and is to further order the court you are not to commit any new offenses.
The Independent broke over the weekend that James Holmes, a former University of Colorado graduate student of an elite neuroscience program, had been under the psychological care and watch of a psychiatrist who was part of a campus threat assessment team. She was also a former employee of the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs from 2008 to 2010. James Holmes is reminiscent of many Manchurian candidates of years past, including Sirhan Sirhan, who was convicted for the assassination of United States Senator Robert F. Kennedy. Just like Holmes, many believe Sirhan had been psychologically programmed and his mind wiped after the killing. To this day, Sirhan has no memory of the RFK assassination or aftermath. Other suspected MK-Ultra subjects, such as Ted Kaczynski, have all been associated with secretive government programs. A considerable amount of circumstantial evidence suggests that Theodore Kaczynski, also known as the Unabomber, participated in CIA-sponsored MK-Ultra experiments conducted at Harvard University from the fall of 1959 through the spring of 1962. Also, over the weekend, according to the Denver Post, Colorado's real-life shooting had imitated a training exercise at Parker Medical School the same day of the killing. According to the Post, the tragedy that played out in the Aurora movie theater was ironically paralleled as a classroom learning experience in a medical school in Parker the same day as the real one.
Somebody shakes when the wind blows. Somebody's missing a friend. Hold on. Somebody's lacking a hero, and they have not a clue when it's all gonna end. Stories buried and untold. Someone is hiding the truth. Hold on, when will this mystery unfold? And will the sun ever shine in the blind man's eyes when he cries?
My mentor, John Jacobson, who works in CNL, is a philosophical type of guy. He's interested in how we perceive reality, specifically grapheme perception. And graphemes are basically just letters of the alphabet. And he wants to know how graphemes are mediated in spatial frequency channels. He also studies subjective experience, which is what takes place inside the mind as opposed to the external world.
The U.S. military has designed drones so small that they're starting to look like tiny insects. These are used to get into areas that they normally wouldn't be able to reach. These secret insect drones are said to help the fight against terrorism and help protect us. But is this something that could cause concern in the future? People in New York and the Washington, D.C. area have been reporting strange sightings of what they describe as tiny machines hovering around different gatherings like the anti-war rally in Lafayette Square last month. A student was convinced these were not real bugs. The FBI, CIA, and other various government organizations have all denied such claims of having mini spy drones at work.
This may look like an ordinary beetle, but it's actually being flown by a human using a remote control. Electrodes in its brain and wing muscles are connected to a radio antenna. Electrical pulses sent with the console make the beetle take off or land. It can also be steered during flight by stimulating its left or right wing muscles. Cyborg beetles could one day become the ultimate spies,